Thanksgiving or Christmas dinners. Green beans, I know it sounds very simple, but the amount of times that I've had them really badly prepared, unbelievable. First thing that we do is we're just going to prep them. So we're just going to nip that off with a little knife. And it's just really simple process, but if you do it correctly, season them up nicely, saute them nicely like we're going to do, you're going to end up with a really nice vegetable. So, nipping those off. What I've got over here is a pot of furiously boiling water. Now that really is the most essential part of the whole dish. We're basically going to cook them in there for about 7 minutes and then saute them really quickly. We want to keep that nice crunch in them, really bright, vivacious green colour. So to do that, furiously boiling water and a generous amount of salt. Now we're going to pop those in. Very important as well that you don't put too many beans in your one pot. If you put loads of beans in there, that water is going to come right down in temperature. They're going to take about 12-13 minutes to come back up to the boil. Your beans are going to be brown, overcooked, not what we're looking for at all. Now as those come up to the boil, I got two very simple things to do. I got a clove of garlic and a shallot. Now basically, to prep the garlic first, flat on the chopping board, the base of your hand, just smash it like that. Now you'll see, one easy motion, the skins come off. I've seen people peeling it, it takes too long. Now, roughly chop it. One of the things I'm really trying to teach you here with this dish is basically just how to follow very simple principles. This isn't so much a recipe, it's just more how to cook the beans correctly and then just saute them off very lightly, and you'll be surprised just how tasty they are. So we're going to peel our shallot. Now shallots are just slightly sweeter than a regular onion, and they work really well in this dish when they're sauteed. So the beans have been in there for about 4 minutes. By the time I've finished slicing this, nice and thin slices, we'll be ready to strain those beans. How long has the whole process taken me? About 4-5 minutes so far. Such a great dish. If you're cooking a turkey, a ham, in the time that the turkey's out resting out of the oven, you can basically very quickly knock up this little dish. So there's my prep. I'm going to leave that there, and what I can do now is wait about another minute and then I'll be ready to strain those green beans. So basically you can see how furiously those are boiling. What you do is you just pull one out, and if you're not sure if it's cooked or not, bite into it. Now that's still got a lovely crunch in it. I can see that they're really green, vivacious colour. I'm just going to come over to the sink and strain them. Now just shake off any excess water, and we'll just let that sit there and drip down as we do our next component of our dish. So I've basically got a pretty medium-sized frying pan. I'm going to start off in there with a little bit of olive oil. Now we're going to make what's called a little emulsion here, which is basically the oil and the butter. Now the reason we're doing that, with the oil in there mixed with it, it'll keep a higher smoking point and we'll be able to saute really nicely. So, a generous knob of butter. And we'll just wait for that to come to sort of a froth, and then we'll be able to add in our garlic and our shallot. You can see that frothing up there. That's the perfect time to add in our garlic and our shallots. Now we just want to cook these really softly for about 1 minute, 2 minutes, until they soften up and become slightly translucent, and we get those wonderful flavours. Gently keep it moving around, very gently. You really don't want any colour on these, just really slowly cooking them on a medium heat. I'm already getting wonderful aromas coming off that. Now you can see the green beans on this side, absolutely bone dry. Any excess water has disappeared down into that pot. Now, perfect stage here. No colour, slightly translucent, in go the green beans. Now at this stage, I'm happy to turn the heat off pretty much. We've sauteed our garlic and shallot. Just give them a little toss. Maybe more comfortable with a set of tongs. There's only one more little thing that we have to do. Very important. You take that off the heat. We're basically going to season them. So you can go to your salt and a little bit of black pepper. And because we followed all those simple instructions, you can see it barely even looks as if those green beans have been cooked. So many times we go into a restaurant and they're limp, they're brown, really not very appetizing. These are vivacious green, packed full of flavour. We're ready to serve them up just like that. Make a wonderful side dish for a Thanksgiving or for a Christmas. It's such a quick and simple vegetable. So I think you'll agree, we've followed some very simple principles. They look absolutely amazing. The only thing that I'm going to do is top it off with a lovely bit of basil. So simple, so quick, really, really fantastic.